to plan is planning to fail. This evening, our motivational talk for all of us, including myself, is on strategy. Strategy is simply planning. Those who go to war, those countries, or anyone who go to war must have a strategy. Nobody will approach a particular kind of war without a strategy. You fail to plan and you go into a war without planning, it is defeat in sight. Nobody plunged into an ambush without studying the territory of where he is. In life, no matter what we want to do, in every sphere of our life and of our daily growth, there must be plan. This year is just less than 2 months, not up to 60 days. We have what we want to achieve this year. Do you have a strategy? Do you have a plan? Do you write the ways in which you want to achieve everything you want to do? If you don't have that, if I don't have that, I'm only deceiving myself. Before we know it, 6 months will have been off the calendar. And before we know it, we will be planning for the Ember month again, and a year would have gone. This evening, I want to explain strategy using different kinds of quotes, and I will explain them in this little piece. The first quote I have here is by Bola. He says, "A vision without a strategy remains an illusion." So when you have a vision, you have a plan. For the word vision is to see. You are seeing the end of this year or the end of our lives or in 10 years' time. But there is no plan as to, what will I do? How will I achieve this? How will I do that? It becomes an illusion. It becomes a wishful thinking. He who does not plan, as Lee Bolman says here, a vision without a strategy remains an illusion. Another quote from Sun Tzu is a Chinese person. He makes this quote. He says, "Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat." Wow. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Somebody who plans to pass an examination, who plans to get away from a level of life to another level, and there is no tactics. Somebody who wants to go to a football match as a coach, and you don't have a tactics, is an attacking tactics you want to use? Is it a defensive tactics? He says, what this Chinese man is telling you and I is that strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. For instance, I want to take myself from a level of life, probably an average level, to a brilliant level. How do I want to do it? A student who is a C student who wants to move to a B or an A student, what are the tactics to take that student away from an average level to a good level? Another quote here says, "Success is 20% skills and 80% strategy." Jim Rohn says this. Success is 20% skills, meaning ability, the things you have learned from school, the things you have learned in a trade. He says success is just 20% skill, 80% strategy, planning, strategizing. You might know how to succeed, but more importantly, what is your plan? What is my plan to succeed? I have ways of business. I want to do this business. I want to go into this thing. What are the strategy? 20% skills, 80% strategy. William Hague says something, and this is very also strategic. He says there is only one growth strategy: work hard. This is to tell you and I that this year, William Hague says there is only one growth strategy. If anybody want to grow, if anybody want to live a level of things in any endeavor in life, only one growth strategy: work hard. Sir Winston Churchill, a great man, said how beautiful the strategy. You should occasionally check the results. As you grow in life, you have a 10-year plan, you have a 1-year plan. For a 1-year plan, after 3 months, am I growing? Am I improving? Am I doing what I need to do? Another one before we move on, or before we close this episode, is said by Maurice Kang. Maurice Kang says, without strategy, execution is aimless. Without execution, strategy is useless. Let me say it again. Without strategy, execution is aimless. If I don't have plans, if I don't have a way of doing things, to execute it, one will be aimless. One will just be wandering here and there. This last part of that quote says, without execution, strategy is useless. What does this say to you and I? Let's get to work. Let's move. Let's have a locomotion in all of our thinking. No matter what you want to achieve in life, no matter where you want to get to, if you sit down at a place, you don't make aim, you don't make move, you don't try to locomote, you don't like to move on, you don't like to accelerate, he said it is aimless. See that quote? How beautiful. He said without strategy, execution is aimless. Without execution, strategy is useless. Lastly, before we close this episode, strategy is a commodity. Execution is an art. Strategy is a commodity. Strategy is like a good. Execution, one doing it, putting it to action, is the art. And what is art? Beauty. So, in this short episode, what I'm passing to you and I'm telling myself is that this very particular season, strategy is key. But what is more important in strategy is hard work, and it's us moving on. Let's get to work. Let's put those plans that we have written down some years ago. Let's put it to action. And I want to assure you, if you had hard work, you strategize, you do tactics, you check back, you make resolve, success will be knocking at our door. Good evening.